Welcome to the Motivational Medium podcast. I'm Anne-Marie Lord, a psychic medium, author, and the founder of the Motivational Medium Academy. On this podcast, we'll explore intriguing topics such as mediumship, psychic abilities, and the amazing idea that we all have intuition within us. Whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between, get ready to unlock your extraordinary potential as we discover the supernatural world together. If you want your questions featured on the show, be sure to join my tribe by subscribing to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Let's go. Hello, my friends. Welcome to today's podcast. I want to talk to you today about imposter syndrome in spiritual work. I don't want anyone to turn off if they're not in spiritual work, because I believe that this will also give you a little bit of an insight into imposter syndrome in all areas of your life. And I also believe that we can all suffer from it at some different stages within our journey of life, if you like. So let's jump straight in for a minute and have a look. Have you ever heard of imposter syndrome? Absolutely. Do we really understand what it is? So let me just reference what the state that imposter syndrome is: a psychological experience where individuals doubt their skills, feeling like they are not good enough despite evidence of success. Now, people who have this can put everything down to other people's abilities. So like it's their fault, or it's their great experience that I've got this success. Or they can actually put it down to luck sometimes rather than their own abilities. Now, I want to just dig deep into this today, because working in the spiritual industry for the last, 15 years. Oh, it's longer than that now. 2009, I started this journey. So we're looking at maybe 16 years nearly. So working in this field for such a long time, I have seen so many people get debilitated by this to actually give up the practice. Now, there's been some amazing healers, amazing psychics, amazing mediums who have all been hit with the imposter syndrome stick, if you like, and give it all up. And I suppose I've even gone down that track and that route myself sometimes, and it's not a very good journey to go on. So why do we as human beings have this self-destruct imposter syndrome ability, if you like? Well, as I said to you, we don't believe that we can actually do this job to the best of our ability. You know, like nurses, I can't be a ward manager. She could be a ward manager because she's got blah, blah, blah. But I could never be this ward manager. So what is the evidence behind that? What is the evidence to state that we can't be successful? And why do we let imposter syndrome, especially in spiritual work, destroy us? Well, there's a few reasons, really. One of the biggest ones, I believe, is that we don't accept that we could be successful as other people. So that's a comparison. So you're comparing yourself with other people. And that is a massive no-no. You are not that person. You are born differently. You walk differently. Your life has created so many different experiences and so many different life experiences. So why do we compare ourselves to someone who is totally different from us, but we expect to have the same results? It won't ever happen. So one of the things I would say is, whether you're in a spiritual field or even a nursing field or whatever field it's in, stop the comparison. You are not that other person. And the beauty of this is that you're going to show up as you. So you are unique to you. You were born on a certain day. You were reared by certain parents or peers. You had different family members, which created different life experiences. You went to different schools. I could keep going. You had different nursing experiences. How many mediums do you know that have worked in palliative care for, 12 years, or been a nurse for over 30 years? So that's what makes you unique. Your journey makes you unique. So one of the biggest things I would say is, straight away, if you feel like you have this imposter syndrome, look at your journey, and it's so different to the person you are comparing yourself to. You are not them. The one biggest thing that I would say as well is accept your feelings. Even before you look and you think, okay, I'm comparing myself with someone, one of the things that you're going to have to say to yourself is, I accept these feelings, and then ask yourself why. And that's where the journey begins of, why am I creating this imposter syndrome? Because it's you who's creating it for yourself. So accept the feelings. I don't want to get all confused here and jump all over the place, but let me tell you something. If you suffer with imposter syndrome, a few of the biggest things that you are in danger of doing is giving up your business because of burnout and because of stress, or giving up your career because of burnout and stress. If you think you're not good enough, that creates huge amounts of stress within you. And my friend, you are not looking at the facts. Now, I know this because I feel I have gone on this journey of imposter syndrome. Like, I'm never going to be as good as them, or, what makes me so special, or why should I do it? Or maybe I'll just give it all up and I won't do it at all. I can't write a book. I'm dyslexic. Everyone else can write a book, but I can't write a book. And then when we look at the facts, so I want you to think about, if you've ever suffered with imposter syndrome, whether you're in a spiritual practice or not, look at the facts. Have you got clients? Are you good at your job? Are you going to your job? Have you got any success within your job? Have you got any success within your business? These are all factors that contribute to what you are telling yourself about imposter syndrome are lies. Because the facts speak for themselves. Okay, you might get a negative review on Google or a negative review on Facebook or something, but when you look at the positive reviews, that is different. These are the facts. When you look at the amount of people that are buying your book, that's the fact. When you look at the amount of people who come to see you for your business or your success or your knowledge, these are the facts. These are the written facts. So if you focus on, I'm not good enough. Now, I've spoke about this, about the RAS system in previous podcasts, but if you look at, I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm comparing myself to them, or what you're going to do is you're going to set your RAS system off to see more of that negativity or more of that fear. Well, it's going to bring in a lot of fear, and it will stop you from being the most successful person you are. Okay, let's look at this. So we've got, first of all, if you feel like you have imposter syndrome, which we've all been there at one time or another, then look at the strategies and techniques that you can change this. One of them is acknowledge and accept your feelings. Okay, I'm feeling like I'm not good enough. I'm feeling like this isn't my journey. And when we go in to look at it, then ask yourself, why? What are you doing? Because none of it is factual based. Are you comparing yourself with other people? Are you not looking at the successes? Acknowledge the feelings, okay? This is real, and this is what I'm feeling. And then what we'll do is we'll reframe the thoughts. What is causing you to have this imposter syndrome? I completely think that I'm not good enough. Okay, well, we've got to reframe them thoughts. Now, stay with me about reframing thoughts, because sometimes we have to reframe them with evidence. So if we reframe the thoughts with evidence, look at the amount of people that come and see you. Look at the amount of success you've had within that area. Look at, if you've wrote a book like me, is the people that have bought your book? Have you had any feedback on the book? Even if it's one feedback, it's success. So we've got to reframe them thoughts. We've got to use the stop, twerk and tequila method that's in the Grateful 3 Approach to Life book. When them thoughts come in, stop, move a part of your body, and then reframe it. Think of a different way of putting it. You've got to stop that thought, that pattern within the brain. Okay? And then we focus on the facts and the evidence. This is like what I was talking to you before. Focus on the successes. So how can you say you're not successful or buy into the imposter syndrome when the facts speak totally different? The facts in your job, the facts in your business, in your success, in your relationships even. You've got to look at the facts, because the facts, my friend, will show you something totally different. So focus on the evidence. And then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to buy just a little journal, just a plain, nothing in it journal. And I want you to keep a journal of your day. And I want you to look back over your day. And I want you to look at, so say like if it was me and I done 4 readings in the day, and even if 3 of them was really brilliant and one of them maybe not so brilliant, I would write down in my journal, today I'm grateful for the successes of my readings today. I had 3 great readings. Yeah. One of them maybe not so good, but I had 3 great ones. Yeah. And then the next day you might write, okay, I had 4 amazing readings today. Yeah. And then the next day it was like, I had 4 great healings today. Because what happens is when you're trying to reframe your thoughts, or when the imposter syndrome comes creeping back in, go to your journal and look at what successes you had in the day. If you're working as a nurse, what was your day like? What was the highlights of your day? If you're working in a shop, what was the highlights of your day? If you're starting a new relationship, the imposter syndrome's creeping in and you're thinking, oh, I'm not always good with relationships. Look at the success of the relationship for that day. Write down all your positives. Go over your day and only look for the successes within that day and write them down. So when I talked about 3 readings that were great and 1 that wasn't, don't even write the 1 that wasn't so great. You can do if you want, but write the 3 that was. And this is reframing, and this is changing it, okay? And when you're having a bad day, you can go back to this journal and look at any day, and that's where your successes will be. Now, one of the other big things that I talk about is celebrating your wins. We don't do this. So, okay, let me take you back a little bit. When we are children, because we're ingrained to keep going and achieve, okay? This is our ingrained DNA, if you like, to keep going and keep achieving. So when you were a child and you learned how to crawl, you didn't just think, okay, I'm going to be a crawler. I don't really care about that walking. You kept striving to walk. So then you got to walk, and then you wanted to run, and then you wanted to dance. And the same with talking. It wasn't just well enough just to have a few words. You wanted to learn more. As human beings, we want to grow and we want to learn more. But what that keeps us doing is it keeps us going forward. Now remember, well, you won't remember this, but come back again. When we crawled, everyone celebrated, your parents or whoever it was clapped hands and, wee, look at her doing this, Then when you got up and walked, everyone celebrated. This was the encouragement about going forward. When you learned all these new words, it was successful. But as we get older, all the success or all the clapping from the sidelines disappears. We have to do that for ourselves. And we forget to do it. So we continue to look for that appreciation, that validation. My friend, you can do that for yourself. It's called celebrating your wins. So when you achieve something, celebrate, treat yourself, pat yourself on the back, say, how amazing was that? Write it in your journal. I had the most amazing day today. Success, success, success. Celebrating your wins will give you the success that will stop you from thinking you aren't good enough. And that's where imposter syndrome comes from. So some of the steps that you can do is acknowledge your feelings, reframe your thoughts, write in your journal, and celebrate your wins. And do not compare yourself to others. It's like getting an apple and a banana and comparing the two. They are totally different. I'm not 100% sure on this, but will the apple give you as much potassium as the banana? Absolutely not. Is it the same shape? No. Has it been grown in the same way? No. How can you compare yourself to somebody else when you are totally different? I hope, and especially with my healing colleagues and my beautiful psychic and mediumship friends, I hope this has helped. And for everybody else as well, who feels like within their role in life, they have imposter syndrome that comes in before you get to that total stress and burnout where you throw everything away, then I would say, look at these few things. Acknowledge your feelings, reframe your negative thoughts, journal, celebrate your wins, and stop comparing bananas with apples. You are totally unique and you are you. And don't forget and look at the evidence of where you are today. You know, how much good feedback have you had? How far have you managed to grow? And it's funny because when we start to grow and we get more successful within the business or more successful within our work and life, that's where the imposter syndrome comes from. Because we think, I am not worthy or I might fail, and fear creeps in. So it's all about fear. I hope this has helped today, and I hope this can help you reframe your thoughts and stay the most amazing person that you are, the most amazing, unique person that you are. Celebrate your wins, reframe your thoughts, journal, and do not compare yourself to anybody else because you're unique. Have the most amazing day. And don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe so you don't miss any of the new episodes. If you feel you've learned anything from today or you've got anything from today, please share it with your friends. And thank you for your support. And I'd love to hear any feedback. I also wanted to let you know that if you are in Perth on November the 29th, I will be doing a live event in Clarkson in Crystal Clarity. This is at 2:30 in the afternoon. I love these events. We do lots of readings, lots of giveaways, lots of mediumship, and they're always great fun. So if you can come along, I would love to see you. Come and say hello on Saturday, November the 29th at Crystal Clarity in Clarkson. Have the best day, my friends. And all the tickets are sold on my website, which is annemarielord.com, and go to the drop-down box and live events. Come along and come and say hello. We always have a great time and they're always sellout events. Have the most amazing day, my friend. Take care and love yous. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's important to note that while I'm here to inspire, encourage and guide you, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist or a doctor. Join me again in 2 weeks for more captivating revelations on the supernatural. Remember to be in with a chance to have your questions answered on the podcast. Subscribe to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Stay in the tribe to vibe. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.